Hi, One Best PR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It is a Wednesday afternoon right now, and we are talking with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. We're going to take a look at the Jaguars-Saints game. There is no market-wide number out right now, so we won't be able to give a pick, but we will discuss our general thoughts, what we might be looking for, possible betting value by kickoff. Joe Duffy, the Saints, of course, are on a short week, and the big news is that Drew Brees, I don't know what the latest news is I think he's out. He's out for the year, right? Or is he not? He was maybe going to try to play through his injury. The other news, which is not really news, is that the Saints defense is absolutely atrocious, continued to be atrocious last week. And the Jags are the Jags. You know, they lost to the Falcons. Not too good, but not too awful. They are just 1-2-1 against the spread over the last four, but their 4 games before that, they had covered 4 in a row. And, a team with a lot of flaws, a lot of deficiencies, but also some positives. You have anything to say about this game?
I have not heard that Brees is definitely out for the year. It just kind of makes sense, the fact that he's questionable and it's a meaningless game and a short week. I mean, what's really the point of putting him out there? I know that he's a competitor, the proverbial competitor, all that other stuff. It doesn't seem all that much of a point to put him out there and expose him to possible injury. Look, the Jaguars, they're a team, we keep talking about it, they do have a little bit of young talent with Bortles and Hearns, and they got some young wide receivers there that maybe they have a little more motivation to go into the offseason on a high note. And, of course, the Saints' defense is beyond awful. They allow teams to get, first of all, a whopping 1 yards per rushing attempt above their normal average and 1.3 yards per pass above their normal average. You can see, I always say that teams, they don't quit, but kind of the final 2 weeks of the year is when I do think that some of these also-rans have a little bit less intensity, and especially with the Saints having been a disappointment, you can see how there's not going to be a ton of intensity on the defensive side of the ball, and I think the Jaguars, especially offensively, would still like to go into the offseason, really producing offensively. Bortles has certainly shown some signs in the second half, so I think Jacksonville will be the more motivated team. Of course, it depends, does Brees play, but I would lean towards Jacksonville, pending on what the line's going to be and whether Brees is going to play.
Yeah, the Saints also on a short week, right? They played on Monday night.
Right.
And the other thing, if you look back on Jacksonville's last 8 games, overall 5-2-1 against the spread. I know that's backloaded to the first 4 games, but still, overall, that's a pretty profitable record right there. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Thanks for giving us your thoughts on this matchup. And now give us your thoughts on OffshoreInsiders.com. Joe Duffy, you have any thoughts on your website?
Yes, featured in a bunch of, again, featured in the ESPN.com Bowl article, been featured in there before, been featured on national TV, national radio, and of course, internationally on YouTube with SBR. There's a reason, going back to the Score Phone days, been in this business full-time, 28 and a half years. All the details at OffshoreInsiders.com.
Thanks, Joe.